Hi there, in this video I'm going to show you an easy way to make pet portraits using carbon transfer. So yeah, let's get into it. So one of the most important things you're going to need are pencils. You can do charcoal pencils if you like, these are the ones that I use, or you can use graphite, which I'll be using for this example. You can even use your common school pencil, but I'd highly recommend having a set for more variety in your work. So the next thing you'll want to do is look for a picture that has strong lights and shadows in it, because it gives you more to work with when you start using your darker and lighter graphite pencils. So this is the photo that I decided to go with because of its quality as well as its strong darks and lights. You will go to print this and wait for it to load. And you'll want to check your settings to make sure that everything's how you want it to be. I left mine on landscape, which I shouldn't have, but it still works for this example. So yeah, you'll just want to check that, and then you'll go to more settings, and you want to make sure your color mode is on grayscale, not color, and not monochrome. So make sure it's on grayscale, and you'll press OK and print. So your printed out paper should look something like this. Mine has some lines in it, but that's alright, we'll work with it. Now you will need to get out your sketchbook. This is the one I use. You'll have your printed paper and your carbon transfer paper. This is one that I've done before, and as you can tell, it's a lot better quality, so hopefully yours looks a little bit more like that. You'll also need some tape for the corners of your papers, so make sure you have all of that and you're good to go. So the next thing we're going to do is open our sketchbook to a blank page. You'll have your carbon transfer paper, and you want it to be facing with the darker side down. Then you'll put your printed paper on top and tape the corners so that everything stays together. So I accidentally recorded this the wrong way, but here's a sped up of me showing what I just explained. I decided to use Q-tape. Also, if you notice the glove, I'd also recommend that because this can get pretty messy. Now you'll take your basic pencil and you'll start tracing the general outline as well as kind of highlighting where the darker areas are. I'll be speeding this part up so that it's not boring. So throughout this process, you'll want to check your outline and see what places you need to go back over, which I will be doing here. So after you're happy with your outline, you'll want to remove the papers, but keep it to the side so that you have it to look back on later. So now we have our outline and our printed paper that we can look at for reference as we go over these darker and lighter spots. lightness and darkness of it, and then I'm going to show you one more thing to do. So here we're going to be going in this sort of hatching movement to give the fur more volume and dimension, and to really go over those dark spots. So once you're happy with how it looks, your finger might look much like mine. Here's the man, the myth, the legend himself making an appearance. It's time for the final reveal. So my lighting was horrendous, so I tried to use this flashlight to show kind of like all the details, and then I'll show it the next morning in better lighting at the end of this video. So hopefully you're happy with the results. It takes some time. Here's the man showing himself again. Now we have the results in better lighting here. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful and helpful. And yeah, I'd love to see what you guys come up with using this technique. And I hope to see you guys stick around to see more of my art. Thanks for watching!